live, like you have a free version, but then you can like pay for a version, and you can go live on like so many platforms. Like I can go live on 3 platforms at the same time. One live stream. Yeah.
I need that.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
I need to get that.
yes. All right. So, good morning, family. We're doing early morning live coffee with Rob. I haven't even brushed my hair yet. Here we are.
I threw a hat on. I didn't even do anything. Oh, man.
Good morning, Cindy. So me and Rob are just kind of like shooting the shit this morning. Just talking. Rob's had some really, really cool stuff happen recently with his job and career, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So super excited to hear about that and hear about all the cool stuff you got going on.
Yeah. Yeah. So basically, I'm out of town. I live in West Palm Beach for the people that don't know me. And then we traveled up to Kissimmee, Florida, but my buddy went to California because his buddy does solar. So what they do is they qualify homes for people that have high electric bills, and basically what it does is it gets rid of the electric bill. So he went out to California to see how it all went down, and he crushed it. He did really good, and it's door to door. So we go door to door telling people about this.
That's so crazy.
Yeah,
You're like a for real salesman.
I know. So, um, you know, it's a lot of fun. You get to interact with a lot of cool people. But he went out to California. He was like out there for months, crushed it, and decided to open it up down here in Florida. And me and a couple other people got joined on to it, and we're like in the developing stages of really, putting this thing together, which can be life changing for a lot of people. And that's like our main mission, is to change the homeowner's life and to change the people that work here's lives, so it's really cool. It's a lot different than anything I've ever done, so I'm like relearning. I'm like learning it's like literally learning how to ride a bike again. Like I know nothing, and that's kind of like the attitude I came in with, which is really good because it allows me to stay open-minded, and it allows me to like learn. So basically I just kind of apply the principles that I've learned in the 12 steps basically into this job, and it helps me tremendously. Helps me grow faster than I would if I didn't, pretty much.
Yeah, and then also like that's cool. You're talking about like being able to like change people's lives, and it's like who better to know how amazing a life change like,
Right.
like this could be than you.
Right. Right. Yeah. Like I feel like I have purpose again, like my job that I had before, I had for 4 years. I really felt like I had purpose helping people with substance abuse and mental health. And then the tables turned, and I don't know. For a while, I felt like I didn't have purpose, and it was definitely very challenging. But now I see why. Like I was meant to go through all that so I could be where I'm at today, to be grateful for the position that I'm in today. Because sometimes I get ahead of myself and I'm like, I should be doing more. I should be doing better. I should be doing this. I should be doing that. And reality is I'm right where I need to be.
Oh yeah, we always do that, like comparing, especially like be always comparing with people, especially people on the social media, right? Because you only post your best life on social media. Like y'all don't see me having mental break. You guys, I do let you see me having mental breakdowns quite often. But most people will not let you see that side of them.
Yeah. They don't. Only the real ones do. And that's the best thing. That's what I love about social media, is that you can show people that don't have access to good help the nitty gritty of like, even with people that have access to good help, you know, like there's always going to be obstacles. There's always going to be ups and downs. Everybody needs mental health days. Everybody, you know, nobody's invincible from that. No matter how solid your routine is, or, you know, maybe, you know, you slack off one day. Like some days I slack off and then I beat myself up about it. And then the next day I wake up, I just do better. You know, and I
Right.
say to myself, I take it very simple. As if I just do one little thing better than I did yesterday, that's a successful day. You know, and that helps me a lot because I'm the type of person that if I tell myself I need to wake up at 6 a.m. and I wake up at 6:30, I'm down all day. I'll all
Hmm.
day if I hold on to that. You know, so I try not to, and I'm like, all right, so since I didn't wake up at 6:30, since I didn't wake up at 6, I'm gonna go jump in the pool, and then I'm gonna read a little, and then I'll be good. You know, and that helps me a lot too.
Giving yourself a little bit of grace. Yeah, I struggle with that. Like I call it works of perfectionism. Like if
Yeah,
I fall short just a little bit, it's like, man, like I really get down on myself about it.
I know. It's because we hold ourselves to these standards based off of what we see out of other people. You know,
Yeah.
do it. It's like a subconscious thing that we do because it's always somebody that we want to be like. We want what they got or something like that, and then you know, we think to ourselves, well, we are that good, right? Because that's what we're supposed to do as people. We're supposed to believe in ourselves and back ourselves. But what we don't realize is that our story is always going to be different than someone else's, in a sense, right? Like the key factors, like those little things, like where like you know, say in my job, it's about sales, right? So like maybe my buddy is good, Justin is going to get 20 sales this week, and I'm only going to get 10, but the fact that I got 10 sales, that's a huge accomplishment, you know? So, but I'm in my mind, I'm like, I need to get 21,
Yeah. Oh yes.
you know?
Oh yes. I get you. I get you. Emily, what's up? Hope shot. Hey Justin. Emily's drinking coffee with us too.
I love that.
Good morning, Timothy. Jeannie. Oh, West Palm is my home.
Yes. Love West Palm.
Jennifer Moss. Good morning. Jeannie said self sabotage. Expectations will always get you. I know.
Yeah.
It is. Let's see. Timothy said that's so true. Even the best of us can have an off day no matter what happens to us.
Yep.
Yep. Seriously. Good morning, Cheryl. Jennifer, good morning. Emily says I'm from a small country town north of Kansas City, Missouri.
Ooh,
I've never been out that way. I've never been. Have you traveled, Rob? Have you traveled
nope,
like no?
not much. I plan to, but I never got really around. I mean, I've traveled a little bit, but I've never been that far. The most I traveled was when I used to race four wheelers, but that was about it. Other than that, and all I seen was woods and fields. You know, that was pretty much it. And mud.
Yeah. Yeah, I want to go see something cool like Colorado or like California.
Yeah. We're supposed to take a blitz. I think the next one, like we're on our blitz right now. So we just work, and then we're off for 10 days. Um, we're gonna go out to California in like a month and a half, almost 2 months, something like that. So that'll be pretty cool.
Is that going to be for work?
Yep, yep. It'll be the first time too for me, so it'll be a lot of fun.
Oh, crazy. That's awesome.
Live, breathe, sleep, solar. That's all we do, 24/7, and it's really cool because you get to like be around people that are like striving for the same thing that you're striving for, and you're around them for 10 days straight. Which I'm like a lot of the other people, they're not in recovery, so they've never been in a halfway house where I've been in a halfway house, so I'm kind of used to,
Yeah.
you know like, I mean, it's been a long time since I lived in a halfway house, but it's still, the muscle is still there, you know, like the tolerance
Mhm.
in my brain. So, because that was a huge part of my life.
Oh, yeah. Community living for real. Yes. Yes. I was at one for 3.5 years. I remember.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I would say collectively, throughout all the times that I've been in halfway houses, I would probably say around the same amount of time, 3.5 years of being in halfway houses.
Mhm.
I thought they were a lot of fun in the
Yeah.
beginning, especially.
Same. Yeah, it was awesome for me being in the halfway house because it was like, I came off the street, so I was excited. I'm like, "Whoa, I got a shower, I got a bed, I got food in the
I
kitchen."
know, dude, dude. And now that you say that, it really makes me really think. Like, I remember when I went to, so I've only been to state programs or prison or jail. So when I went, when I came to Florida to get clean, I went to a private facility. First time, I was 27 years old, and I had used since I was 16. So, like, hardcore. So then, by the time that I, I got to this place, I was like, holy crap, like fluffy blankets. I'm like, dude, and other people that are there have been in and out of private facilities the whole time they've been down here. And like, this place sucks. I'm like, sucks. I'm like, dude, I'm like, you don't know what sucks if you think this sucks. I'm like a 5-star rest. This is like, I'm like, this is love. I'm like, I could stay here forever. I remember getting into inpatient treatment, PHP, telling my therapist every single day for like a month straight, I will literally stay in PHP for 6 months if they allow me. I'm like, you don't have to ever let me leave. I can be here forever. I'm very content, like, I was cool. They took us to the gym. They did so much cool stuff with us, man. I was very grateful for that process and that facility. And it may not have been the best of the best of the best facilities, but it opened my eyes to a whole new way of life. Something just clicked when I was in there. I don't know. This guy Yankee Mike, I'll never forget it. He said to me, and I always talk about it because it's like a huge factor in why I am so clean today. He said, just help, just start helping other people with the knowledge that you already have. Whether that's how to find a job, whether that's cleaning the dishes and not telling anybody, whether that's, you know, whatever it may be, something that about recovery or about being clean, like that was like the thing. You know what I mean? Like, that's what helped me get clean. Like, it was crazy.
That's awesome. That's awesome when you have somebody like that that speaks some words into you. Somebody was talking to me about that. I did like this video project for this nonprofit out here that deals with like homelessness and stuff like that for young people. And so they had me come to like UGA to the university and tell my story. And they were asking me that, and I was just reminded of this one lady who really spoke into my life in sober living. And it was like my third day there. I was like still like super foggy, right? And she said, "Do you know why you're here?" And I was like, "No." She's like, "You're here because somebody sees something in you that you don't see for yourself."
Yeah,
And that like blew my mind. Like, somebody sees something in me? Like, it just period.
I know. I feel like that's a forever thing too. That's the there. Somebody seeing something in you that you don't see in yourself. I feel like with growth, that is always going to be there because people are constant. Like, we're not going to be able to see what other people see. Like, that's why, some days what I've realized for myself is that when I'm in a bad mood and I look in the mirror, I look a lot different than I do than when I'm in a good mood, you know? And it's crazy how much that will affect everything I do in life, So, um, I love that. When somebody does see something in me and they tell me that, I'm like, really? I'm like, now I'm gonna start looking for that. I'm like, all right, so now I'm just gonna believe what you're telling me. Like, I'm not gonna believe anything that my mind tells me that's negative, and I'm just gonna believe that one scenario that you said.
Mhm.
That's what I'm gonna run with. It's pretty cool.
So Chris Cotner asked you, Rob, do we ever get better?
Well, it depends. Yeah, I mean, to an extent, like, can he like elaborate on that a little? Like, get better as far as like just being a person in recovery, or like get better and stop using. You know,
Mm, yeah, Chris, see if you can just elaborate that on a little bit. Um, Emily, we're glad you jumped on here too.
same.
Let's see. Morehouse, Missouri. Oh, somebody in here. I hate when it does this. It says Facebook user, but it doesn't tell me who it is. I also work selling solar. I live in Cape
Let's
Coral,
go.
Florida.
Let's go. Love that. Love that. It's the way of the future, man. It really is. It's crazy.
I got some stock in it, so I hope it starts to go somewhere.
Oh, it is. It is. It's insane, dude. We're so busy
Chris said using.
using. So yeah, I mean, it just takes a little bit of work in the beginning, man. It just takes a little bit of work and faith, and it doesn't have to be perfect, and you don't have to make every single right decision. For me, I didn't make all the right decisions, and I didn't make all the best decisions. But the one thing that I did do right was I kind of listened to, like what we were talking about earlier. I listened to like my predecessors in like that had been, clean or sober for a while, that kind of seen something in me that I couldn't see in myself, and just having faith, like just like, all right, so my sponsor believes in a higher power, so I'm just going to believe in a higher power, and just thinking like, you know, I'm just going to think about praying every single day. That's what he told me to do. So that's what I'm going to do. I was just so sick and tired of using and living on my dad's couch, or living on my buddy's couch, or sleeping in my car, or at the park, that I was just ready to just, you know, do like almost anything to an extent, you know, uh, for what I had to do. You know, it just all kind of started falling into place. As long as I didn't pick up, I knew that. As long as I didn't use, that was like the
Mhm.
one thing I had to do right. That was like the only thing you got to do perfect, is just don't use, and things do get better.
Right. So Chris says we are always fighting those demons.
Yeah,
I feel like it does get easier though.
it
I
does.
mean, right? Over time, I mean, cuz you kind of develop like new habits, it's like when you change your diet, right? Like for me when I changed my diet when I started like my fitness journey, it was like, I started eating egg whites instead of eggs, right? So did fat-free half and half instead of creamer, like little changes.
Little changes, and you just reminded me of something. So I used to litter all the time and not think about it, like throw my cigarette topping out the window, or the tinfoil out the window, or spit my gum out the window. In my first year of recovery, the first thing I changed was, I said, the one thing I have control over is I don't have to litter.
Yeah.
Do that, and it changed me dramatically. It changed the way I thought. It changed actions. It changed the way it changed, literally. It literally was like the building block, of change for me. Like, even the way I talked, it was insane. The person that I seen in the mirror changed. Like, the confidence. It was so weird. Just something little like that I didn't even realize that I guess I felt bad about doing, but subconsciously was like, it was just normal to do. Uh, Really changed a lot for me. And a lot of people think, they're like, how could, especially early recovery, like, how could littering change me? You know what I mean? Like, how could not littering change me? I don't know, man. I have no answers for that. All I know is that that was like the one thing I changed, and here I am.
Yeah. I mean, look, I consider it like for me in my like faith-based realm here, we call that sanctification and Holy Spirit conviction. So you're becoming like sanctified, so you're becoming like more holy, like more like Jesus, you know. Jesus
Yeah,
doesn't litter, so Rob can't
right,
litter either.
right. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, yeah. And I felt like that too. Like in certain scenarios, like what would God want me to do in this
Right.
scenario? You know, and I stopped reacting right away. It was just, but I remember a time where I didn't have choice because my feelings were so overwhelming and I had no direction in what I could or should do in certain situations of how to deal with my feelings. And I remember reacting, in certain situations and being like, why did I do that? Why do I keep doing this? Why am I like this? Um, but yeah, man, you know, now I sit back and let things play out on their own instead of trying to control it all.
Right. Right. And so Chris says that he said, I use pots. So I guess that's like his like harm reduction,
Yeah,
which I
yeah.
mean, if you know, if pot's keeping you from sticking a needle in your arm, then
Yeah.
I would
Oh,
say
dude. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with doing certain things, man, as long as, just like for yourself, like just be productive in life. Like that's like people only come to the rooms to get clean because they just want to change their life. That really has nothing to do with not, using drugs at all, like or whatever, like, I mean, of course, like that's like the core thing that they, talk about, but reality, like I just wanted to change. That was it. I didn't even ever want to stop using drugs. I never wanted to stop using. So, I mean, you know, just being productive is like the biggest thing for yourself to like keep yourself away from all that negativity and that. Yeah.
because I think like too, you know, in our early recovery, you know what I mean, like drugs controlled so much of our life, our thoughts, our actions that like we had to kind of like stop, you know, like for me, I had to stop doing them because I couldn't just do like moderation or I couldn't just do one. Like that was just for me.
Right.
But like everybody does things different. You know what I mean? Like I was just like obsessed with anything that changed the way that I felt. You know, I mean, I can still do that today. Like I got to be careful taking pre-workout, you know, or I just started on like some new like supplements and like am I thinking about this too much? Just being real like self-aware like about different things. I started taking like Garcinia Cambogia. What is that? Is that, am I saying that right?
Yeah.
It's like this, it's like this supplement that like makes you like you eat it like before you eat a meal and it expands your stomach. So it's supposed to like help you like not like make sure that I'm staying in my calorie count and like all this stuff. And
Right.
sometimes I'd be trying to take that too much. You know what I mean? Like, no way, I
Yeah.
just need a little bit more. Like you're going to bed, you're not even eating.
Right. Right. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we could use anything abusively, really anything, caffeine, cigarettes, almost. I think what trips people up a lot about marijuana, Suboxone, or things like that is kind of like the stigma that goes behind it and the words that go behind it. Like I don't believe that the word maintenance should be behind Suboxone. I believe that that was put here for us to help other people, and I believe that as long as they get the right love and direction, that they'll be fine, regardless if they stay on it or not. And I mean, dude, if I drink 4 things of Red Bull a day, and then I do that every single day, and then I stop drinking 4 Red Bulls a day, I'm gonna be moody, discontented, tired, achy. I'm not have any motivation. My body's dependent on caffeine. My body, if I stop eating sugar, I'm gonna have massive headaches. Probably feel some withdrawal symptoms. Like my body is fully dependent on substances today: sugar, caffeine. If I wake up in the morning and I don't have a coffee by 12 o'clock, I'll get a massive headache. Like that's a form of dependency. So like, and it alters my mood. It makes me happier. It makes me more outgoing. It I feel like I can't do it without it. So it's just more accessible, and it's socially acceptable. That's it. Like,
And highly marketed.
exactly, exactly. So like I don't see no real difference because um, I don't know. I just see things for what they are. You know, pretty much. And,
Right.
you know, yeah,
And the biggest thing with it that I always tell people is that like dead people can't recover. So
yeah,
there's that.
exactly. I believe the number one killer in addiction is judgment. Which leads to resentment, which is the number one offender. They say. So um, judgment really pushes people away from people that they once loved, respected, and valued their thoughts. That will really destroy a relationship. If somebody relapses, or if somebody starts smoking, or because they have a tremendous amount of anxiety, or whatever the case may be, the people that they met in the rooms now are going to judge them. They're going to feel like they're being judged because they can see it, because we're not dumb, right? And that's going to push them away from everything that they once knew. Now everything is changing, and they feel like they're doing the wrong thing because everyone's saying they're doing the wrong thing. But in reality, they don't know. Those
Right.
people that think other people are doing the wrong thing, how do they know? Like, we don't. We've never given it a chance. We've never given it an opportunity. And it's sad to say, but you know, there's a reason why people relapse don't come back. They don't, or they take
Mhm.
years for them to come back after having years of recovery, because I believe it's because of judgment. And of course they say, "Oh no, that's your ego and your pride." I don't know. I don't really know that part, but I just know that things would be a little bit easier if there was no judgment and there was just love and acceptance.
Right.
And then people that are judging might get farther in life if they were worried about everybody else and whether they were.
Yes. Worry about your own side of the street.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes. There's a question. I've never had, oh, hang on. I've never had any kind of addiction, but I have family members that have and that still do. And one of them recently said that they feel normal when they are doing drugs, and without it, they don't feel normal. Can you please explain to me a little bit better how someone feels normal while using?
Uh, they're just comfortable. Their feelings are set to the side. They're numb. That's how they want to feel, because they hate the way that they feel. They hate who they are. They dislike everything about their life. Like things like that. Usually, what brings somebody to using and becoming an addict, and then saying that the only time I feel normal is when I'm on drugs, or is when I'm drunk. You know, and that's because that's normal feeling to them is being numb, right? Wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. Yeah. And then it's like honestly the drugs, when you gain a tolerance to them, like if we're talking about pain pills for example,
Yeah.
I can't really speak on like meth or cocaine, but like pain pills for sure. um like when you get to a point where you are taking pain pills every day, you don't feel normal unless you take them, meaning like you like it doesn't even get you high anymore, it just makes you functionable, right? Like you are able to get out of bed, you're able to go do whatever it is, go find more pain pills, whatever your plan is for the day.
Yep, that physical dependency is real. It's real.
Hmm.
You can't even blow your nose without getting chills,
Yeah.
like
Yes.
bone crinkling chills, like up your spine. Yeah. So, yeah.
So I feel like maybe that's what they're talking about,
Yep.
like once you just have a tolerance, and also you don't know what it feels like to be normal anymore. Like your normal is high. So that
I'll
is
be honest.
normal.
I used to think that as long as somebody met me high, they would never think that I was high.
I used to do that. Yes, in job interviews, I would go. This is in my early days, right? I would when I was just like a big, huge pothead, and I'd be like, if I go to the interview high, they'll just think that that's what I look like.
Yeah, 100% agree with that. Oh man, I remember them days.
See, we've got Emily says, my fiance has been missing since the end of February, and we don't know if he's alive or not. I have to stay strong through my addiction for my girls.
Yes, yeah.
Man.
Prayer, you know, that's what would help me the most in that situation. Staying closely connected. That's difficult.
I can't imagine. I mean, like that, there's no closure in that. You know what I mean? So it's like, how can like to have peace in that? You know what I mean? I guess you're right. Like praying for peace in that, and just for something to happen so that he, would say something, let you know something.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, we can't really expect to have peace, but to just be able to act with the right mindset and to move forward with doing right for girls. That's difficult and that's scary. It is scary and it's supposed to be scary. You're supposed to be scared, for sure.
Mhm.
So, yeah, that's why I say prayer because me, I hit my knees every night and I just kind of thank God for where I'm at, and things like that. And then I pray for specific people throughout that I've met in the day or whatever through that week and stuff like that.
See, Tanya said, I was in recovery for 16 years and relapsed for 3 years. And the reason it took so long to come back was the judgmental attitudes.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That big. That is a big problem. That's a big problem. That we can change it. It can be changed or altered, or at least it could be a little bit smaller. But it's just going to take kind of a lot of people together, standing together, pretty much. You know, uh, having open-mindedness. You know, I mean that's like one of the key foundations is being open-minded.
Hmm. And the truth is, here's like the truth is that if somebody comes on here and says, I just came back from a relapse, and but I'm back, here I am. I am ecstatic.
Yeah,
Like, you didn't die. Oh my
right.
god. What are we judging?
Exactly, exactly. I'm like, yeah, I don't look at the person any different, even if it's my friend. My one of my friends relapses. I'm like, okay, you know, like that's it. It's up to him he knows what to do. They know what to do. I mean, I'll be there for him 100%. If they ask me, what do you think I should do? I'll tell them what I think they should do, because then I know that they want to know, but other than that, I'm just going to just treat it like it's just, so what did you do yesterday? Or like, what are you doing today? Or like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like a basic, normal, how I would talk to him if he didn't tell me he relapsed. Like, I don't take it like it's this huge ordeal. It can lead to death 100%, but at the same time, it's abnormal for us not to use. So I should be more surprised that you stayed clean through 24 hours than if you relapsed, right? Because like the definition of an addict is like, insanity, like doing the same thing, expecting different results, right? So like it's
Mhm.
normal for us not to use, right? So like that's kind of how I look at it. which helps me a lot with not reacting with, oh no, like, what are you going to do? And, things like that.
Right.
I try not to make a big, like, deal out of it. And a lot of my friends have died, through the years. And that's just like what happens, when you stay around for a while and you don't die yourself, people die, other people do.
So we have two people on here who are detoxing right now.
Wow. Let's go.
Yeah. So Tig says, I just got addicted 2 months ago and I came across this morning. I'm dope sick now and don't know where to turn to. No family knows yet, but I'm understanding what you are talking about.
That's takes a lot of, yeah. I, it, I can remember when nobody knew what I was doing, and I felt that way. Uh, you know, you just kind of gotta pop the bubble. You gotta just come out and let things be what they're gonna be, and let everybody kind of know where you're at, so they can help you.
Right.
And it's not gonna be like, oh my god, things like that. Like, it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be like anger, fear, and things like that from your family. And because they're scared. People see, like, what? If overdoses are up 34%. Is that what it is? 34%?
Yeah, they are up. Yes.
When before they were up 34%, I think 160 kids were dying every single day in the United States from the ages of 18 to 34. So, that's scary. And they're up 34%, which means that they're up more than that. So families see that, they know, you know.
I just had well, my husband had two friends in Florida who actually were up doing cocaine. This has happened twice now. Up doing cocaine. Apparently there was fentanyl mixed in the bag of cocaine
Yep,
and they overdosed and died.
yep, 100%. That happens a lot down here, a lot.
Mhm.
Especially in South Florida, where I'm at, like from, from Jupiter, like Palm Beach Gardens, and down to like Miami. That happens a lot, a lot. They think, I don't know if they mix it on purpose. They stick the carfentanil in there or something on purpose, thinking that it'll bring them back faster or whatever. Like, make them more addicted. Now they're physically addicted to cocaine. They think, I don't know what they think, or if they're just mixing it up on the same table. But a lot of people die that way, even from just smoking it. You
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, it's crazy. So Caitlin is also today is my first full 24 hours getting clean off opiates, and I am legit dying.
Yeah, that, yeah, it's definitely very uncomfortable, but
Mhm.
that does subside. It's just a lot of water, uh, Tylenol, vitamins, and a lot of water and rest. And that will help you more than it would not doing anything. But definitely a lot of water.
Yeah, hot showers and baths were like really big for me.
Yeah, 3 or 4 times a day.
Yeah, that was like my only peace, like rest that I could get.
I
Sitting in the bathtub. It's rough, but look, here's the thing you have to remember, Caitlin. This is just a very small portion of your life, like a blink. It is like nothing. Like you can do this. Like maybe try to take some stuff to sleep, like melatonin. What else? What are those pills? It's like a diarrhea pills that they say kind of help with it a little bit. I can't remember what they're called.
Modium.
Yes, yes, Imodium.
Imodium.
Yes, Imodium. That kind of it'll just kick the edge off just a little bit. But the thing is, Caitlin, I know you said that you are, doing this by yourself and you have your kids. So just try to distract yourself. Watch funny videos. Look, Rob's hilarious. Get on Rob's content and just binge watch Rob's content.
I haven't been able to make anything lately. I've just been so busy, too tired.
Yeah.
Come up with ideas. I'm like all solar right now.
That's all right. Season for everything.
Yeah.
For everything. You'll be back.
I definitely will be.
Awesome. Well, it doesn't look like we have any more questions. So thank you, Rob, for coming and hanging out.
Yeah, of course. Of course. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
And I'll make sure that we get this shared and I'll tag you in it and stuff. So
awesome. 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 Awesome.
All right. We'll see you soon. Have a great day and be praying for you for that sales anointing on you.
Yes. Today it's happening. It's happening.
All right. Awesome. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.